Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you can see I'm a bit frazzled, but I recently released a video in which I talked about making money on YouTube, and somebody commented that, something like 4% of monetized YouTubers make more than $1,000 a month off YouTube. And, that little amount of money obviously wouldn't be enough to survive on. So, I am going to have myself some espresso vodka and a Coke. And we're going to talk about YouTube and making money. And, my cats are making noise. But yeah, look. Nobody exclusively makes their living off YouTube. Or, well, there may be some people that do, but those people are either extremely stupid or don't need a lot of money. It could be they're just happy with what they have, and that's fine. And there could be somebody out there who's like that. But basically, YouTubers who make money fall into three categories. You've got people who make something on YouTube, but it's not their primary income. You've got people who make money on YouTube, and it is part of their overall income, but integral. And then you've got people that, they're making money, and YouTube is just more money. It's one of those things. For those of you who are uninitiated, I drink in these videos because I am a food blogger. I have this vodka because I purchased it for a review. If I don't drink it, my alcohol supply will simply keep piling up. If I drink it all, I will go into a diabetic coma and die. So, I have decided to consume alcohol in these videos as a means of using up my stock. Now, in addition to that, I do buy these bracelets, one of them for every 1,000 subscribers I get across all 6 of my channels, from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. So if you'd be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe, you've been doing your part for a better world. Now, look, as a YouTuber, I fall into the category of my primary source of income is a completely unrelated job. I do my best to use that job to get me to make more, or use the time I'm at work to contribute to my YouTube. But for the most part, I'm lucky if I make $20 in a month on YouTube. That's maybe around $40 in, say, November or December, which are high volume months. And then for the rest of the year, I don't make anything. This channel, as I film this, is not monetized. And I'm really pushing to get monetized. So, I have one channel that is monetized. I have 5 other channels that aren't. And it's just a matter of pushing and pushing and pushing until they get monetized. And once I get there, well, they're probably not going to make enough money for me to retire from security. Okay? It does happen. But the hope is that they will make enough money What was that? The hope is that they will make enough money so that I could live more comfortably. It's like if I made $10,000 a year off YouTube, which is very, very unlikely, I would basically be going, okay, I'm not doing that bad. I'm less concerned with my problems now. Okay? If I made, For me to stop being a security guard, we'd have to basically run into what we call the Pratchett rule. Terry Pratchett is one of the most published authors of the 20th century. He's passed away now, but he was always made his living off of writing, but I think he was doing journalism, and then he started novel writing. And he wrote comedy novels. He was a comedic man. But what it came down to was that one day he did the math, and he said, for me to keep being a journalist, it takes so much time away from my novel writing that it actually costs me money to go to work. So he quit being a journalist and became exclusively a novelist. Okay, so the threshold for me being purely a YouTuber is pretty high. But then you get into the next category of YouTuber, which are people who are so big on YouTube that there is money to be made outside of YouTube using your YouTube fame. Looks like my cat is pooping on something he's not supposed to. Yes. Anyway, so I can't stop the video to go deal with him, and he's already done it. No, he hasn't already done it. Oh, you're pooping on a cord. I'm going to have to clean that, Caramel. He just loves to do that. Anyway, so it's like at a certain point when you become a YouTuber, there's more money to be made through things like merchandising and other things. Like Philip DeFranco famously started a t-shirt company, and his t-shirt company does pretty well. Ryan Macbeth, he is a YouTuber. That's now his primary thing, YouTube. But he also has a Substack where he gets money. He also sells t-shirts, which is a common thing. And he's now dabbling in writing. And it's like, yes, if I had 100,000 subscribers, obviously that would mean, I would say 1 out of every 100 is going to buy my book. So I'm going to put out a book. And I've already written a book, written 2 books, but one of them is finished and ready to go. The other one I would need an editor for. I mean, like serious editing. But, geez, Caramel, it stinks. What have I been feeding you? Anyway, so, falls into that category where it's like, yes, you're not making a living off YouTube, but YouTube is the advertisement that you're using to make money. So you can make money not off of YouTube, but because of YouTube. And that's the category of the majority of professional YouTubers, is that range. Beyond that, you have people like, say, Bill Murray, okay? Bill Murray is a big enough star so that it's not important, but he could make money on YouTube. So, I mean, how much he could make? Oh, I don't know, a few million. But he's now trying to cover up his poop. So, that amount of money, like, yes, Bill Murray, he has people that work for him. And he could just turn around and say, you, make me a YouTube channel. And this guy could, every now and again, pull out his phone, do a few questions with Bill Murray. Bill Murray could talk about whatever projects he's getting into that he's allowed to get into. He could plug a product from time to time, make an extra $1 million a year, and basically spend almost nothing making that $1 million because he's so famous, his YouTube career instantly pops off and becomes useful. So those are the 3 categories of YouTuber that basically exist. And, as opposed to people who are just, dabblers, hobbyists. Those are the 3 monetized types of people. So it's one of those things that, you don't make a huge amount of money on YouTube, but YouTube is a gateway. I mean, we have 6 degrees of separation. If I had 100,000 subscribers, someone is going to be able to connect me with the right people to get my movies made or my books published or something like that. You know, if I were a YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers and I send a short story to Asimov magazine, they're going to say, oh, you're the famous Richard Neal. Well, of course we're going to publish your story. They say that's not what they do, but it's what they do, you know. It's just one of those things. If Stephen King wants to get one of his stories published in a magazine, there is no stopping him from getting that published in a magazine. He could basically decide the magazine. He could go to Vanity Fair and say, hey, would you like to publish one of my short stories? And they'd be like, oh, you're Stephen King. Well, yes, and we will kiss your ass while we do it. That's the glory of being Stephen King. I, of course, am not Stephen King. With my negligible number of subscribers, that's not going to happen. If I had 100,000 subscribers, I could pretty much get published by any magazine that does that sort of thing. And if I had 10 million subscribers, pretty much any magazine I approach would be like, oh yeah, sure. You know, 99% of magazines would be like, yes, we would love you to write something for us, and we don't care much what it is, because your fans are going to be brought to our magazine, and it will increase our publication. So anyway, you know, that's the world we live in. It's not a pretty world, but it's the YouTube world. And I'm still thirsty. I'm Richard. With the grace and stealth of a ninja, Danger Ducky says you should be hitting that like button. Then leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't already, because this channel is awesome and Danger Ducky will find you if you don't.